And we're live. Greetings, welcome Pathfinders to another edition of Booster Bestiary. Tonight my focus will largely be on Booster Bestiary, but while we're doing it, there is some cool Pathfinder personal news. Of course, the biggest news of the week and of last week, and probably for a while, will still, of course, be the United Paizo Workers union getting recognized, which is still awesome and amazing, and I'm so thrilled about all of that. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and get cracking like we do. Here we have it. So if anyone has any preferences, go ahead and say it in chat soon before I roll this here die. For those who don't know, I crack a booster pack open and create a Pathfinder 2 monster out of what I get, sometimes using spell cards to juice up the monsters, sometimes not. Last week we got ourselves a big scary dreadworm that feeds on casters and their magical components to get stronger. Seems to be a ongoing theme. Makes sense when you're cracking from magic packs where you are playing wizards getting attacked by monsters. Alright, we will just roll then. Got myself a 3. We're back in Innistrad. Alright, so Innistrad Midnight Hunt, the newest Magic the Gathering set. It's a spicy set, gotta admit. Really like the set. A lot of really nice cards in it. Next set's looking really good too, though. Wait, do we even have any cards for the next set? I don't think we do right now. I'm sorry. More Innistrad's always welcome. The Innistrad sets are all pretty good, as long as the Super Friends aren't too involved. Alright. So, what here would make the best Pathfinder monster? Secrets of the Key. So we have some investigation. Bat Whisper. A vampire that has a bat familiar. My little winged friends tell me which of these townsfolk are worth tasting for myself. I like that. Little scouts. I kind of like that. I like that a lot. I've recently in my own home game, I've had cases where we're in initiative and new monsters are added to it. I kind of like that as a mechanic. Like, I'd like to see more monsters work on that. As like something they do as their tactic, having like a little scout and then they come into the battle and get some kind of advantage for doing so. Other than, getting to position themselves and PCs using their best spells. Snarling Wolf. It's a big wolf. It's just a regular wolf. It snarls, so it gets a little bigger. Yeah, that's probably definitely not going to be a card. But it's a wolf. Alright, Flora Faith. It makes a creature indestructible and big for a short amount of time. Pretty cool. I could pair that with a mono white human we might pull from this. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, here we have Crossroads Candle Guide. It's a spooky scarecrow just in time for Halloween. It's a big spooky lushy pumpkin-headed dude. I do kind of like the Crossroad Candle Guide. I considered it doing it last time. Exiling stuff from the graveyard and getting mana. There's lots of ways you could interpret that. We'll see. Maybe. Revenge of the Drowned. Yep, it's zombies coming up from the water. Gotta love zombies. Drowning zombies are always cool. And here we have Ritual Guardian. I could do that with Flare of Faith. What would that look like? At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, he gains lifelink until end of turn. By ancient magics, by Angel's Grace, now we survive this night. It's a human soldier guardian. There's some stuff you can do with that. You could have a guardian that could take hits for other people and as an innate spell once a day become kind of indestructible. Get a huge resistance bonus. That's something you could do. That way you could take 2 hits before he goes down. Alright, or 2 hits by that barbarian with that pick who's giving you trouble. Alright, here we have, let's see, Burn the Accursed. You got yourself a nice little burn spell there in case we get a red monster that just needs a little bit more oomph. Bird Admirer. I've never seen this card before. She won't rest until she's collected specimens of every bird in Innistrad, and then at night she turns into Wing Shredder. Her hunger won't be sated until she's tasted every bird on Innistrad. Alright, so here we have an anti-flying werewolf. A low-level anti-flyer is actually kind of a neat niche. I know there's some GMs who have trouble with low-level flying. I would certainly have trouble with my last couple encounters if the PCs were flying 10 feet above the enemies sniping. So that's kind of tempting. Okay, it's more tempting than the wolf, that's for sure. Hungry for more. Create a vampire token with lifelink and haste and then get rid of it. Okay, it's a thing. Oh, it could be paired up with Vampire Socialite. Get it? He's a socialite, so he's hungry for more? I don't know. Alright. So when he enters the battlefield, an opponent loses. If an opponent lost life this turn, each other vampire you control gets a +1/+1 counter. Oh, it's actually really good with Hungry for Life. There's some synergy here, too. And whenever an opponent lost life this turn, each other vampire you control enters the battlefield with additional counter on it. All right, cool. So he gives bloodthirst, I think it was called, to your other vampires. He'd be a vampire lord. He'd be a vampire that pumps other vampires, which isn't as necessary in Pathfinder because it's very rare that you fight more than one vampire. They tend to be the big bads. It's not bad. I don't know. I think I like Bat Whisper a little bit more, though. All right. Oh, and to remind everybody who might not watch every week, most of these packs are from pre-release kits, which means they do have a higher chance of foils, rares, mythics. In fact, every pack I've opened so far from a pre-release kit from Midnight Hunt has had either a foil or a mythic or an alternate art or a foil mythic. These packs are hot. I mean, they're labeled as just draft boosters. They aren't. The pre-release packs are amazing. I've opened enough boxes here on stream to prove that. They're really good. Okay, here we have a dragon. It's a cool dragon. It does extra damage to zombies. Purifying dragon. I like that. Not as interesting as these other choices, though. Malevolent Hermit. Sacrifice him to counter a spell unless its controller pays, and then you could cast it from your graveyard, and he comes back as a ghost. I think we got him before, from a couple of weeks ago. It's not a terrible idea, but again, like, it's a lot of work. You usually don't want creatures that have multiple life bars unless they're bosses, because they make extra long encounters. It's just less interesting for the players, because you don't want to do it too often. If you do it too often, it's too much fatigue. I mean, usually with non-boss monsters, it's like, or I'll just wait, with non-boss monsters, usually it's like, I'd rather just fight two different monsters than the same monster twice. Unless it has, a name and a backstory, which I guess Malevolent Hermit could, but I'd rather save that for legendary creatures. Don't you love this land? Look how cool this land is. Who did this artwork? Alanya Donner. I think I saw her at Gen Con 3 years ago. Anyway, but look how beautiful that landscape is. These dark artwork Innistrad lands are really, really beautiful. All right. Oh, and here we have a foil, Ardent Elementalist. When he enters the battlefield, return target insert sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. While the Dawnheart witches focus their magic on nature and community, other covens consort with devils and twist the elements to their will. Just a big Burny Shaman. I do like that. I mean, we do have this burn spell too, so we could get Burn the Accursed as an extra spell. I like that a lot. So I do like Flare of Faith with Ritual Guardian, but it's not perfectly ideal there. I mean, it's kind of gimmicky. It's a kind of too much of a single gimmick. Like, I defend people and I could lay on hands. I mean, it's just a champion. It's just a champion that could, like, once per day increase its resistances. So, I feel like I'm going to see more candle guides. I think I'm going to see most of these. I like the idea of doing the foil. I'm just going to do the foil. Alright, so we are going to do Burn the Accursed and Ardent Elementalist. Let me go ahead and pull that up on Scryfall real quick. For those who don't know, let me move this over to my website view. There we have it. For those who don't know, we use Pathfinder 2 tools or monster.pf2.tools because it has all the math in there already in this really pretty spreadsheet and then makes it really easy to transfer over to social media. Oh, let me get my pipe box in there. Here you go, Yurishi. All right. So let's go ahead and go to Scryfall and look up Ardent Elementalist. That is card number. There we have it. Alright, last week we did Dreadworm here, and we gave him a Necromancy spell to make him a blood-draining Dreadworm. This week we are doing Ardent Elementalist along with Burn the Accursed. Burn the Accursed, Burn the Accursed. It does 5 damage to that creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. That is going to be a thing. I think I know what to do with that. But for now, we got to get this down. So this is a kind of pyro, a fire caster, I'm seeing 4 for the casting cost, so maybe a 4th level creature, maybe a 5th level creature. Let's go ahead, and first thing we always do is look at the NPCs over on Archives of Nethys, and we look down. We have, not Devotee, Mystics. Maybe he's a Mystic. Under Mystics, you have Adept as a -1, Harrow Reader, Cultist. He's a Demonologist, but that's level 7. Maybe Cultist would work well for this. I think it might. Cultist gets, like, Fanatical. They're not a caster. Let's look for spellcasters. So, what is a spellcaster called? Devotee, Official, Criminals, Mystics, Laborers, Publiticians. I know there's a thing here. Healers, Explorers. These are from the No Preps. Mystic. Maybe Adept. Adept does get some spells, but it's not enough. Let's just make him from scratch. We're not going to use a template for this. We're just going to go in, because we have extra time, because unfortunately, and my heart goes out, Linda Zayas Palmer can't make it to Arcane Mark tonight, so that means I'm not going to feel pressured to have to end the stream. So that's a minor bonus, but I feel sorry. I hope everything's okay and she gets better. So let's see. Traits. So I'm going to give this Human Shaman. Human, Shaman. I almost want to give it the Fire trait. Nah, it doesn't need it. Let's make this, it says consorts with devils. Yeah, so let's make this Chaotic Evil. Devils are definitely chaotic evil. Under languages, let's give her Abyssal. There's Abyssal demons. Let's get those two mixed up. Yeah, no, that's right. Let's give her Abyssal. Where is devils? I just want to double check that. I keep getting devils and demons mixed up this week. I know I shouldn't. I shouldn't even admit to that. Infernal, my bad. Alright, so let's give her Infernal. Let's see, it's a witch, a shaman. Well, I did actually, I did recently make the shaman actually for Borakubos. Made them a wisdom-based caster. They're could pick between occult or primal. So let's go ahead. Let's go infernal and common, of course. That'd be fine. All right. So here we have a humanoid. This is going to be a type of caster, so let's go ahead and give them a super high wisdom. I mean, not ridiculously high, but +5? Yeah, sure. +4. They are consorting with devils and demons. Is that really what I'm getting from this, though? Ardent Elementalist. When the Dawnheart Witches focus their magic on nature and community, other covens consort with devils and twist the elements to their will. Yeah, that's still wisdom. It's their will. So yeah, it's wisdom. There we have it. I think their charisma is going to be fairly low, like a 1. Their intelligence probably also just a 1. I mean, they are throwing fire everywhere. Constitution would have to be pretty high because there's fire. I like having dex high on fire slingers. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of, by high I mean moderate is a 3, so moderate. The strength will be low. Strength will be 0. They're not strong. But they do have... strength should at least be 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's good. I like this stat array. So, armor class. What should we do for this thing's defense? It's a 2-1 on the card, so it does not have a lot of defense. This is a ranged striker, for sure. This is hands down going to be a ranged striker. So we're just going to give them what's moderate to 15, low is... Even just 15 AC is really low, but... it could be lower. Let's give it 16 AC. We'll give it just moderate on the fort saves, slightly higher on the reflex saves, and extremely high on those will saves because its flavor text mentions how willful it is. It could be higher. Let's give it a little higher because they are crazy. They do not care about those will saves one little bit. Their will is set in stone. They know what they're doing. And that's going to key into its flavor later that I'll get with Burn the Accursed, because I got a fun idea for that. Let's just give it moderate on the low end of hit points, because it doesn't have... Should it have fire resistance? It doesn't on the card. Yeah, no, it's just crazy. They are an ardent elementalist. They are not resistant to fire in any way, shape, or form. They are going to be... Primal? They do it with devils, so that should be like religion, right? Yeah. So let's give it a high religion. Let's give it... Oh, perception should actually be pretty high because it's a wisdom based. And you want these types to go first to be able to see the PCs because it's kind of a glass cannon. I do want to give it some acrobatics, which I'll just leave it moderate. And then I'll give it an athletics that will be low. And then under saves, I'm going to give it 10 reflex. I'm going to give it +2 to reflex against spells it casts. I think it would say versus, doesn't it? +2 to reflex versus spells it casts. Is that how you'd put it? Saves. Yeah, versus. So +2 status to reflex versus spells it casts. Versus its spells? Spells it casts. Yeah, like that. That's, if you say its spells, some people might see that and go like, do you mean... They might see that and be like, do you mean spells that are on its list? So like if it has Fireball, does it get the bonus against Fireball somebody else casts? No, it doesn't. It gets bonuses when it casts spells. That way it could Fireball itself and not get a plus 12.5% chance to not take damage. I mean, plus 10%, but then, like, criticals. Yes! It doesn't have stealth. It doesn't have survival. Thievery, occultism. Not even intimidation, really. I mean, is it intimidating to you? I guess it's a little intimidating. She's smiling too much to be intimidating. She loves her job. Alright, I love my job, too. Let's get here, go there. Alright, we got there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give her some items, though, because she definitely has some kind of armor there. She has a staff. She does have a staff. She's only a level 2 creature, so it shouldn't even be a magic staff. So she has a staff. She has... I like giving all my creatures a knife. She's clothes. It looks like leather armor. Alright, so let's say leather armor, staff, dagger. That's good. She looks like she has some kind of tools on her too, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I guess material component pouch. If I want to make this more Oricubos, I could throw in a... Wow, my brain just died. Yeah, forget it. Alright, that'll work great. Ardent Elementalist. Alright, so for offense, her main... Not her main attack, but... speed. Yeah, 25 feet. She's human. 25 feet. And then for her strikes, she will have her pathetic little melee strike, which will just be a 7 to hit. And it will do 1d6 plus 3 damage. That is the lowest of the low here, bludgeoning. This is for her staff. What is a staff's traits? I think they don't. Equipment. Weapons. Staff is two-handed 1d8. Yeah, I guess. Two-hand 1d8. Can you add the two-hand 1d8? I don't. I'm gonna put that. I don't think you could even put two-hand 1d8 on a monster. I don't think they do that. We should find out. Let's find out together. I'm going to look real quick. I'm curious if two-handed is ever on monster entries. I don't think it is, because I don't think monsters usually worry about that. So let's find a monster that wields a staff. Shall we? Winter Hag wields a staff. Winter Hag... Oh, they do. My bad. All right. Two-hand D8 is how you write that on a monster. Awesome, awesome. Always check to see how the professionals do it in their books, so you format your stuff correctly. All right, we're doing good. So let's get to the difficult part. Spells. Spells. This is only a second level creature, so we only need to go up to... we could try for... no, we only need first level spells. We only need cantrips and first level spells, fortunately, so that's going to make this pretty easy. When I'm doing Elementalists, a really useful tool here is when you go there to the spell list in Archives of Nethys, go ahead and just click Elemental, And you can see a whole list there, and that's a pretty easy way to figure out, to see all the different elemental spells available to you. So under cantrips, which one of these is fire-based? Why did they put the focus cantrips under elemental spell list? Oh, that's because I'm not in the elemental anymore. There we go, elemental. Alright, so for fire, under elemental, we have Produce Flame, of course, a classic. We have, and if we have Produce Flame, we don't need a ranged strike in there. I mean, we kind of could. Oh, we are going to have the special Burn the Accursed, but I'm going to have to write that in special. So yeah, Produce Flame. Produce Flame is good. Oh, I got to write this in. Spell attack. Her spell attack will be high, because that's her primary thing. Her spell DC will be high, too. I mean, that's all she is a spellcaster. Her spell type will be Divine. She's getting them from demons. She's not... I shouldn't even put Shaman as her type. She's not really a Shaman, is she? Ardent Elementalist. This does not even give her a class type. There we go. Alright, so, I don't think that's a thing anyway. So, no focus points, no rituals, moderate DC, limited area damage. Okay, we're good there. Alright, so, her cantrips will be... Where do I put level on this? Is that under this? First? Nope. Alright, just checking that. Oh, there it is, level first. Alright. So our cantrips will be Produce Flame. And I guess I'll give her Detect Magic. So Detect Magic, Produce Flame. I want one more. Message is always useful. Light is useful. I like Gale Blast. Damage and push adjacent creatures with air. No. I think Sigil. I like Sigil, actually. For a Fire Wielder, you could, like, burn your Sigil onto a surface. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure what they'd use it for, but you never know when you're DMing. Alright. And then first level spells, we have... Ooh. I'm tempted to give her the old Air Bubble spell trick. Nah, she's not a spell trickster. She's not cool enough to be a spell trickster. Incidentally, I did finally release Spell Trickster after my show on Friday. I went in there on Pathfinder Infinite. I released Spell Trickster. I am so touched at how well it's doing. I did not expect... I expected people to buy it only if they had a Spell Trickster in their game. Like, if they were playing a Spell Trickster, they'd be like, I'll pick it up. But no, a lot of people are picking it up, and I'm loving it. I'm so glad I wrote it. I'm so glad people are enjoying it. It means a lot. It means the world to me. Alright, so, Burning Hands. Definitely has Burning Hands. There's no question at all that they are Burning Hands. Is there any other first level fire spells? Nope. Create Water would be funny, but no. I'm tempted to give her Air Bubble. I don't think anyone from my campaign's watching, but I'm tempted to give her Air Bubble if I want to use her, because, like, I'm doing a firefighting campaign and there's a lot of smoke. Air Bubble would really help this character survive the smoke, so I'm putting an Air Bubble, which makes me want to throw... I'm gonna throw in the Spell Trickster thing onto her. I'm gonna say she learned it. Cool thing about Spell Tricks, if you didn't know, there's a sidebar in Grand Bazaar that specifically says, even though you're not a Spell Trickster, ask your GM about taking these feats, because the Spell Tricks feats are like 0.9% of a feat usually. Like, some of them are really good. Some of them are like, I would take this as a bonus feat, but maybe not as a whole feat. That's why in mine I introduced a way to get spell tricks just as items instead of like metamagic gems. They're great. I love them, but I totally get why Paizo would be like, you might not need the dedication. Like, if you're a wizard, you could totally have one spell trick without dedication. I think that makes sense. I think they should be a little higher level than if you're a whole-on true spell trickster. Like, make them a level 10 feet instead of level 8 feet. Yeah. Alright, so there we have it. She only has those 5 spells, but she will have some really cool abilities, and I'm going to start with one right from my own book. Other thing I love about writing my own book is I could use my stuff from it on stream without asking the person who wrote it first, like, do you mind if I show this on stream? I mean, I know I don't have to because it's fair, totally fair use, but I feel like I could talk about my stuff from my own work more openly off stream I mean, I know I'm on stream now, but like, I don't like showing off my work, like, buy this book, but I do like being able to talk to my friends about it without feeling like I am spoiling something that another author wrote. I know that sounds weird because I'm sure the other author would love me talking about their work with my friends and stuff because it's free advertising. But to another extent, you kind of feel like you don't want to, you don't want to give away somebody's ideas because that's what these books are ideas, So let's check this out here. But when it's my own stuff, I could write it in plain text, and I don't feel guilty about it at all because it is mine to do with as I please. Here it is, Pyroclastic Bubble. This is normally an 8th level feat. I will be adjusting it for this character because they are only a 2nd level character, but that's fine. So this is a offensive ability. It is no actions because it's a spell trick. It has no traits. It is called Pyroclastic Bubble. Let's call this Proto-Pyroclastic Bubble because this is a lower level version. It's not going to be as good. You can... Let me just copy and paste it. Alright, so what Pyroclastic Bubble does, it's a spell trick. 8th level feat. You can cast Air Bubble, heightened to at least 4th level with the trigger. You or an adjacent ally cast Burning Hands or Fireball, and target the triggering spell. That means you're using Air Bubble not to protect yourself, but instead to encase the energy of this spell. When you do, the spell conjures the bubble of pure air in the palm of the triggering caster, capturing the fire spell within, and building to a delayed but devastating conflagration. You can dismiss the air bubble, and when the spell ends, meaning when it's dismissed or after the minute is up, it explodes, and you add 10 feet to the radius of the burst or length of the cone for every 2 rounds the spell was delayed. Pyroclastic Bubble may be used with other fire spells with the GM's permission. Great. So let's modify that for this character here. You can cast Air Bubble heightened to at least 4th level. That we don't need right here. So you can cast... Okay, so I need to put her name. Ardent Elementalist. Let me copy and paste that up here. Boop. Ardent Elementalist can cast Air Bubble. With the trigger, you cast Burning Hands. And target the triggering spell. Oh, I should just make that a reaction then. No, because it can't be a reaction, because the reaction would then be cast Air Bubble, but Air Bubble's a reaction, you only get 1 reaction per turn. You gain an additional reaction to cast Air Bubble with the trigger. Okay, you could do that. I'm just going to leave it like this. And the triggering spell. Let's do that. Replace Air Bubbles. Replace the spell standard effects? Yes, replace Air Bubbles standard effects with the following. The spell conjures... I don't even think you need that much. Since it's a monster ability, I think you just do this. The spell conjures a bubble of pure air in the palm in the Ardent Elementalists. Because they can only use it on themselves. These are greedy people. They're not in the Ardent Elementalist palm. Ooh, can they do this with Burn the Accursed? They can't. Let's not make crazy. In the Ardent Elementalist palm, capturing the Burning Hands within and building it into a delayed but devastating conflagration. The Ardent Elementalists can dismiss Air Bubble. When Air Bubble ends, comma, the contained Burning Hands takes effect, comma, don't need to say heightened to the same level as Air Bubble because she can only cast 1st level spells. Add 10 feet to the cone, to the length of the cone for every, let's say every round, because it's a monster. She's not going to survive too long. So for every round the spell was delayed. That's only at 5 feet, if it's every round. So 5 feet to the length of the cone for every round the spell was delayed. All right, cool. So there we have it. She could build up her burning hands in the palm of her hand and explode it outward. I like that a lot with an air bubble. Oh, I need to write how many spells they get per day, don't I? Air bubble. Let's just give her ×2 of each of these. Let's give her ×2 burning hand, ×2 air bubble. Cantrips are unlimited. That's cool. Is that what a second level wizard gets? I'm gonna look that up real quick. By default, I cannot remember what a second level wizard gets. That is my greatest shame. 3 spells per day. Let's just give her 1 air bubble. So she can do that trick once, basically. That works. Alright, awesome. So we have proto-pyroclastic bubble. Maybe I want the air bubble twice, so that she's immune to the smoke in the encounter in which she's an arsonist. Let's just do... Yeah, let's just do that. There we go. That works well. Alright, cool. Alright, and finally, the coolest ability, Burn the Accursed. This will be an offensive, let me move that up for alphabetical order. Offensive 2-action ability. It will have the Evocation and the Fire trait. So, Evocation and... Evocation? Maybe it's Abjuration? No, it's Evocation. Evocation and Fire trait. Do I need the attack trait on this, actually? Pyro. I think I do. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. What time is it? 6:30? Yeah, we're good. There's no arcane mark today. Let's see. Goblin Pyro gets... Oh, he just has a torch that just does fire damage. That's not a good way to get through this. Alright, we're okay. Alright, so... 2 action, evocation, fire, divine? Yeah. Divine evocation fire. Alright. So let's go ahead and say spell trick. Why does that look so messed up? Oh, that's why. There we have it. Alright, so Burn the Accursed. Divine evocation fire. The Ardent Elementalist. What is it doing exactly? I'm looking here at Burn the Accursed. Nothing remained but a few drifting embers and the smell of smoldering hair. So it destroys a monster and damages the summoner bound to it. So I guess it targets a minion and does damage to the creature controlling the minion. I like that. But how does that devil play into that? A devil in Pathfinder is about... Oh, this card is misprinted. I mean, very minor misprint, but I don't know if this will show up on camera. This is actually why I started opening cards on camera, was in case I get a misprint. There's like a weird... There's a line in the foil where the cut happened. Yeah, that's not showing up on camera. It's a very tiny, tiny line in the foil. It looks like where the roller passed over the foil it applied a little bit too much pressure. Maybe there was something caught in the roller, like a dust speck or a little dirt speck. That will do it. I don't even think it's enough to call it a misprint. It's just a minor factory error. Alright, so the Ardent Elementalist surges forth tongues of flame in the guise of their patron devils. Lashing out at a target connected to somebody else. How does that work? Lashing out at both. Yes, at both minion and master. Igniting the metaphorical bond that binds the two souls together. That sounds cool. I like that. Burn the Accursed. Or, how should this be then? A reflex, a fort, a will? Man, this is a weird spell. I guess, man, it's like all three. It's like, do you want to dodge the fire? Resist the fire with your body? Or... I guess it's about the bond. You're igniting the bond. So the Artist Elementalist surges forth. The Artist Elementalist conjures... Ignites... I'm going to rewrite this. The Ardent Elementalist ignites the bond between... Ignites the metaphysical bond between two creatures, burning both master and minion. How do I word this? Let me just check this out really quick, because my brain just kind of blanked right as I was looking at this, which is why other reason I started this stream is because I keep blanking on stuff, and I want to make sure I do things right. Alright. Burn the Accursed deals... How much damage do you do on a target with a save? 3d6? Yep. I don't like that. Let's do 3d6. 3d6 is good. That's for area damage. How much does target damage do on this? Let's go to ye old hazard and monster creation and check out damage for spells and special abilities. I think it's going to be like 3d6 plus... It's probably going to be... Actually, 3d6 is good. I think it's just going to be 3d6, but I really want to check it out, because I have been working on lots of fire stuff, and I have all these d6s stuck in my head. Strike damage for level 2 extreme is 1d12 plus 4. Spell attack roll. Yeah, 3d6 seems good. I've been working on some cool projects involving firefighting recently, so my head's been in fire. Probably why I chose the red creature. You could look on No Direction today. Actually, I posted an article on fire as a hazard, like all the way from level 1 to level 20. How to adjust fire to be a cool hazard. How to thematically adjust it. How to add extra bits to your fire, like backdrafts or dust explosions, or fire that... Once you get caught, it keeps burning at you because magic is involved, getting past resistances, cool stuff like that. Alright, so level 2, yeah, 3d6 is fine. My instincts were right on. So, Burn the Accursed deals 3d6 fire damage to the target, to a target creature. And then I say basic will. Yes. Yeah, basic will. To the creature, basic will save. If the target fails its will save, if the target has the minion trait and fails its will save, the last creature to give it orders. How do you word that on the minion trait? I'm going to look that up. Is there a special term for a minion's master in Pathfinder? Minions are creatures that directly serve under another creature. So the creature that serves it, the creature it serves, the minion acts your turn in combat. Yeah, okay. A minion can't control other creatures, so the creature that controls it and fails its will saves, the creature that controls it takes 2d6 fire damage. Cool, there we have it. Oh, I need to put like a range and all this other stuff on this. Hold on. Let's go creatures. What kind of creature has a special effect like this where I could look up the formatting on its range, because my head is all over the place. Tail drag. Give me 1 second, everybody. Sorry. An Azer, I think, has an ability like this. Burning touch. What's a touch? That's how they know that. Scorch. To each creature in a 20-foot line. Alright. So this will say, Burn the Accursed deals 3d6 fire damage to a target within 60 feet. That'll work. Oh, I forgot to put the DC. DC 18 basic will save. If the target has a minion trait and fails its will save, the creature that controls it takes 2d6 fire damage. Great! There we have it. Burn the Accursed. It burns the target. It burns the target's master. I know it's a weird name, but that's what the card does. I know it infers that you can only burn away evil creatures, but even the card itself is just burning away a werewolf, which in Innistrad are like the least evil non-human, non-angel race. I mean, like, the werewolves in Innistrad are pretty tame. I mean, they're not tame. By very definition, they're not tame, but they're not like the vampires. They're moon-blessed defenders of nature. So, like, anyway. They're not evil. There we go. They're not evil. They're not lawful. They're not good. But they're not, by their nature, necessarily evil. They are complex. All right, here we have it. Ardent Elementalist done and done. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. It does what it says on the box. So, thank you for everybody showing me all your support and showing up. Had a great time. If I have any other Paizo news... Oh, yeah. So, on Friday, I will be doing my review, my Pathfinder Infinite reviews. So, go ahead and please check that out at 4 p.m. Pacific on Friday. Also, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific or 9 p.m. Eastern, No Direction, there is a very, very, very special interview between Jessica Redicop, Vanessa Hoskins, and Shay Snow, talking about the United Paizo workers and all of that. So please check it out. It's going to be a great show. I'll be there in chat goofing off. No Direction, they're great. We're great. Love it. Gonna have a great time. There was some Paizo news today about a system that I have yet to take any time to really look into. It does look interesting. It's kind of like a Hero Lab digital assistant. Nexus, Pathfinder Nexus was announced today. It looks cool. It looks really cool. I hope people take full advantage of it. It looks neat. It's not necessarily it's not necessarily anything that I'm personally interested in using for myself, so I'm not necessarily going to be a huge endorser of it, but it is news. You should check it out, because if it's something that you've always wanted, there it is. And there we have it, another show. Thank you very much for showing up. Please keep playing, please keep rolling dice, please keep supporting all the Pathfinder content creators out there. My name's Dustin Knight, and this has been another Booster Bestiary.